At what point does an NBA team decide to take a big swing to compete? In the case of the Atlanta Hawks, your answer is this offseason. In the last week alone, they've already made some moves that not only put them in position to be a contender in the Eastern Conference this year, but also beyond. I'm going to take a deeper dive into what the Hawks have done and why they shouldn't be taken lightly in the wide open East. It's hard to believe, but it's already been 4 years since the Hawks' shocking run to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. With a young nucleus led by point guard Trae Young, some thought the Hawks were only beginning to take flight, though since then, the team has been stuck in the middle. The Hawks have been in the play-in for 4 straight years and had 2 first-round exits. To show you how fast the NBA changes of that then young core, only Trae and Onyeka Okongwu remain with the team. In those following years, one of the biggest difficulties for the Hawks has been struggling to build around Young. As I mentioned in a video looking at the guards in this recent NBA draft class, it is not easy being a smaller guard in this era. Trae, for example, is an incredible offensive talent, but listed at 6'1", opponents will target him on the defensive end of the floor. This isn't a complete reflection of Trae, but this is a look at how the Hawks have fared in defensive rating, which is points allowed per 100 possessions since their conference finals run. In a 30-team league, they consistently ranked towards the bottom, though this recent season, they're around league average, ranking 16th, which I don't think was a coincidence given their personnel. The most notable addition last season was Dyson Daniels, who is well deserving of his nickname, the Great Barrier Thief. In his age 21 season, the Australian became the first player to average at least 3 steals per game in over 30 years, but starting at shooting guard, he also has the size, length, and lateral movement to defend various positions. Dyson this past season also improved scoring out of pick and roll on a per possession basis, showed that he can score off cuts, and with a point guard background, can make quick decisions with the ball in his hands, though he does have room to grow as a shooter. Before a torn labrum ended his season, Jalen Johnson was showing his abilities on both ends of the floor. While the 23-year-old can still grow as a shooter, listed at 6'8", he can do a bit of everything as a scorer, and can also create for others with quick decisions as a passer. Defensively, he has the size and versatility teams covet in wings, with the ability to defend various positions. Johnson played his last game of the season on January 23rd, and in the 44 games the Hawks played in that span, the team was nearly 10 points better per 100 possessions when he was on the floor, which isn't stunning given his two-way impact. Another interesting note is that Onyeka Okongwu in his 5th season got his most extensive playing time to date. In the 40-game stretch where he took over as a starter, the Hawks were 7 points better per 100 possessions when Onyeka was on the floor. The 24-year-old was also very effective operating out of pick and roll with Trae Young, has shown the ability to make some quick decisions as a passer, and like the other young players mentioned, has the size, length, and movement to be a versatile defender. That doesn't even include last year's first overall pick Zaccharie Risacher. Like most teenagers in their rookie year, Risacher, who turned 20 in April, had his ups and downs, though as I mentioned in a video about him a few months ago, he showed the flashes you'd want to see from a big-time shooter, is already a very savvy cutter, and also showed that he can make some quick decisions as a passer. Risacher has room to grow as a defender, but his size and length are projectable to defend out on the wing. So if you've been paying attention, there are some common trends among this young core. Now let's dive into the Hawks' notable additions so far. The first being Kristaps Porzingis, who they acquired in a 3-team trade with the Celtics before the draft. Porzingis has an extensive injury history, and a mysterious illness impacted his performance these recent playoffs. Though the Hawks are taking on the last year of his contract, so there isn't much long-term risk for someone with his upside. According to the NBA's tracking data, Porzingis this past regular season was second in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage among players who had at least 200 shots attempted 6 or fewer feet away from the basket, where they were the closest defender. Given that he's got the size and length to block or alter shots paired with the Hawks' perimeter defenders, this will be extremely valuable. This doesn't even account for Porzingis giving Trae Young a weapon he's never had before, a center who is a serious three-point shooting threat. This past season, Kristaps made just under 43% of his threes off the catch and is dangerous out of both pick and roll and pick and pop. Another wrinkle the Hawks can utilize is that Porzingis has become very deadly in the post against cross matches or switches. given Young's willingness to push the pace or ability to force a switch out of pick and roll. This could lead to some very favorable shots for the 7-2 Porzingis in the post against smaller defenders. In the first day of free agency, Atlanta made a big splash by signing Nickeil Alexander-Walker to a 4-year deal. While he'll likely come off the bench, Alexander-Walker fits the mold of the players the Hawks are pairing with Young. He's become a dangerous shooter off the catch and can also attack closeouts while displaying the ability to make quick decisions as a passer. To go with that, Na established himself as a valuable perimeter defender in Minnesota, where he has the lateral movement and length to defend players of various sizes and disrupt passing lanes, which could make for a very dangerous tandem when sharing the floor with Dyson Daniels. The Hawks also signed Luke Kennard to a 1-year deal, and while he isn't the defensive player the other additions are, he'll put a ton of pressure on opposing defenses. Since the 2020-21 season, Kennard has made a ridiculous 45% of his three-point attempts, which is first among all NBA players who have attempted at least 1,200 in that span. This is a very notable addition considering that despite Trae Young's ability to create open looks, the Hawks were only around league average from 3 this past year, and Kennard is dangerous shooting off the catch, off movement, in transition, and can also shoot off the dribble from various levels. It's also worth noting that, like other players mentioned, the veteran guard can facilitate and make quick decisions when handling the ball as well. This doesn't even include players such as Mohamed Gay, who was an impactful defender when he played this past season, or new first-round pick Asa Newell. Though the type of player the Hawks want around Trae Young appears clear. They not only want players with size and length who can provide defensive versatility and ideally shooting, but also ones who can make quick decisions with the ball in their hands or moving without it. While the backup point guard position still has some questions, this roster construction makes a ton of sense given Young's strengths and weaknesses. And with this being the last year of Trae's deal before he can opt out for a massive extension, there's no better time to try it. Given that the East has become wide open and the Hawks have valuable future assets at their disposal as well, this franchise that had been stuck in the middle these past few years suddenly has reason to feel very optimistic. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with my latest in-depth NBA analysis.